everyone. My name is Laura Dykema, and this is for MIS 31052, fall of 2014. So just a little bit about me as a team member. My strengths, I am a strong writer. I like to write. I'm comfortable being both a team leader or a team member. If no one else wants to be a team leader, I generally have no problem doing that. Or sometimes I'll just assign myself to that if nobody else volunteers. Um, I do meet deadlines and obligations. If I say I'm going to have something done by a certain time, I will do that. I'm very detail oriented, and I'm not afraid to offer suggestions or ideas. Um, My weaknesses is sometimes I tend to procrastinate. I do have a lot going on. I'm very busy, so sometimes I put schoolwork off to the last minute, but I do work well under pressure. Um, and I also prefer to work on my own time frame. That's one reason why I'm taking online classes is because I can work at my own pace. Um, Often prefer to work alone. I don't like relying on others. I tend to be very self-reliant, and sometimes it makes me uncomfortable to have to rely on others to get my assignments or other types of things done. And then I also have difficulty delegating for that same reason. Sometimes I think if I want something done right, I just have to do it myself, and so sometimes I have a hard time delegating tasks. And then I'm also a perfectionist, and so I tend to nitpick a little bit. So that, I guess, could be a weakness or a strength. Um, and then just a little bit about me. I love being outdoors. The photo of me in this movie is actually of uh, me in Ontario, Canada, and Kettle Falls, if anyone's familiar with that area. I like camping, gardening, fishing, hiking, walking, biking, basically anything that I can do outdoors. I much prefer to be outside during the summer than the winter, but I will do things like snowshoeing during the winter if it's not too cold. I also enjoy all types of music. I love going to concerts and shows. I like movies. I really like to cook, especially with stuff from my own garden. And then I like reading and writing. And I also like traveling whenever I can afford it. I do like beer and wine. I live in Northeast Minneapolis where there's lots of breweries popping up, and so I love going and trying those out and getting a growler here and there. And I also like red wine a lot. Um, and living in Northeast, it follows that I have an old house that needs a lot of work, and so sometimes it's frustrating to do improvements on my home because the house is very old, and some of the things that have been done to it over the years have been done in odd ways. So sometimes it's frustrating, but I do enjoy working on it. And then my professional life, I have worked for the city of Minneapolis, the Minneapolis Public Housing Authority, for 17 years. I started there when I was not far out of high school. I was 19 years old. And I've always worked in the construction slash rehab and the development division of the housing authority. So we basically are charged with implementing all of the rehab projects at all of our properties and then developing any new properties. When I started there, I actually started as a temp, um, working in a secretary or admin support role, and I was hired about 3 months after I started. And over the years, I worked my way up. I moved into a project management position, so I was managing construction projects. And then most recently, I was promoted to manager of the department. I've been fortunate enough to work under a great boss. He's been my mentor over the years. He got me interested in construction and development, and so I did go back to school to get my associate's degree in construction management, and now I'm working on my bachelor's in business administration. And my boss is retiring probably within the next year, so if things go well, I may be moving into a director position. So I think between his mentorship and the schooling, uh, my career has really flourished, and I'm very fortunate for that. So that's me in a nutshell. I look forward to working with you all throughout the semester.